Hello my loves, welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you are new here. Hi, hello-y, my name is Loey. Today, for the first time in a long time, we are taking a look at glitch in the matrix videos on TikTok. Now, if you're unfamiliar with the concept of a glitch in the matrix, it originates from the theory that we live in a simulation or a matrix of sorts. Some people view it as spiritual, some people truly think that we might be living inside of a supercomputer. It's kind of a catch-all for anything that makes you question the reality around you. These are some of my favorite videos to watch, and it seems like they're some of our favorite videos to discuss for sure here on the channel. So you guys have tagged me in these, and I think today we're gonna go through roughly 15 of the scariest ones that I have come across in the last few months. And just because I have so many glitch in the matrix videos to get through, we'll do like a part 2 with 15 more of these TikToks in the next couple of days. Before we get into today's video, I want to thank our sponsor, Wildgrain, which has quickly made its way to one of my favorite discoveries of 2026, and I know it is going to last the rest of the year. Because Wildgrain is the first ever bake from frozen subscription box for sourdough breads, artisanal pastries, and fresh pastas. Wildgrain also has a really cool mission of partnering with small bakers and pasta makers from all over the country to keep the tradition of artisanal and nutritious foods alive. Every product from Wildgrain takes under 25 minutes or less to bake from frozen, no thawing required. Freezing locks in that flavor, the nutrients, and all of that without using preservatives. It's so convenient as well because I can enjoy a freshly baked loaf of bread or some delicious chocolate croissants in 25 minutes or less straight from my freezer, and they literally taste like they just came from the best bakery in town. Also, with every box ordered, Wildgrain donates 2 meals to a food security nonprofit of your choice at no extra cost. The other day I had a friend over and I baked these delicious croissants from frozen just before she arrived, and let me tell you, they were such a hit. Every product that I personally tried has been so incredibly delicious, and I've already started recommending Wildgrain to my friends and family. And if you, like my amazing mother, are gluten-free, then do not worry because Wildgrain also has gluten-free, vegan, and new protein boxes for you to enjoy. So if you want to check out Wildgrain, and honestly, I am sure you do, it is such a cool service. You can check them out using the link in my description box down below. And when you use my code LoeyLane, you'll get $30 off of your first box plus free croissants for life. Thank you so much to Wildgrain for sponsoring me. I am genuinely living out my Taurus fantasy right now, just baking bread and baked goods all the time. It's so much fun. And now, let's get into the video. This first video wasn't even going to be in today's video, and I came across it like right before I was gonna film. I don't know if you can necessarily count it as a glitch in the matrix. I kind of think you can. It comes from a TikToker named Marielle. Now, I've seen her go viral a couple of times actually. She talks about lucid dreaming on her account from time to time. And in this recent video, it's captioned POV, you ask someone for their birthday in a lucid dream. The person responds with numbers that just don't make any sense, to which the poster is like, what? And the person in the dream randomly says 30, and then she wakes up. Now that's creepy, obviously. It kind of like goes back to, do you guys remember that whole thing where it was like you can't ask people for the time in your dreams or else like the matrix will glitch or something in your head and everything will go terribly wrong? The only lucid dreaming experiences that I personally have all been really, really scary. So I think that lucid dreaming in general kind of creeps me out, but it was the comments on this video that really got me. This one in particular, from a poster named Axel. Characters in a lucid dream are also made by your brain. You can fully control them and the setting if you so wish, but otherwise they are governed by expectation. If you think they'll be weird and spooky, they will. Note, sometimes you may have a visitor though. You'll know. Best to be polite. This comment says, I told someone in a lucid dream that I realized I was dreaming and her eyes went black and she said, you aren't supposed to know that, and I woke up. I was in a dream with my friend. I asked what the date was. Suddenly everyone started looking at me with a terrifying expression. They said, you're not supposed to ask questions like that. Then a man in a suit came and said, I won't let you go until you tell me what you found out. My only lucid dreaming experiences, like I said, have always been really scary because if I realize that I'm dreaming while I'm dreaming, I have very, very vivid dreams. But if I realize that I'm dreaming in a dream, everyone in my dream will stop what they're doing, strangers across the street, anyone that I'm with, anyone. They'll stop what they're doing and everyone will turn and stare at me. And usually I am so scared, I like immediately wake up. So yeah, I know there's like a completely reasonable explanation for lucid dreaming, which is where you can like control your dream because you realize you're dreaming, but it does feel a bit glitch in the matrixy to me. We've talked about a lot of glitch in the matrix experiences over the years, and most of them people don't catch on camera. So it's rare to see a video like this where we literally watched the glitch happen in real time. This video is from Kayla.ryann and is captioned, "Where did the third brush come from?" As she is doing her makeup, you can see that her brush starts to like fall apart. Not like the bristles are coming out slowly or anything. The brush comes out in one chunk. I've totally had brushes do this in the past. But when she looks at the brush, it still has all of its bristles. This one took me a few times. I had to really slow down the footage, and this video went so viral a couple of months ago. But what it looks like is that the brush, maybe the bundles for the bristles are in two parts, and there's like a chunk that comes out from the bottom side of the brush, because you can tell that it does look sparser when that part falls out. While I've had brushes shed and fall apart in the past, I've never had one fall apart like that though, so I would be pretty concerned too. Then in this video from pdog4877, she's having a good old item duplication glitch, but it gets much weirder when she realizes that there really is no reason or way for this item to be duplicated.
Okay, I was wondering when it was gonna happen, but I think that my glitch in the Matrix moment finally happened, because I swear to God, I'm going through my garage right now, and bestie, I just saw this picture of my homegirl and I in this box. But we only took one picture at the club. This is the same exact picture.
So basically, while she's cleaning one day, going through a box of her belongings, she comes across this photo and she realizes there is a duplicate of said photo. Now, she clarifies in the video, she doesn't own one of these like Polaroid printers. I have one of those where you can print like any photo onto a Polaroid. She claims she doesn't have that. She says she just has one Polaroid camera.
Holy shit. I've always wondered, like, when was this gonna happen to me? You took this picture. He literally took this picture of us. One picture. And it's the same picture.
So if there's no way to make a copy of this, if it's one of those that just, you know, you take the photo, there's no memory on it whatsoever, it just immediately prints out the photo, how did they get a duplicate? Because it's not like there's any change in the poses either. Like, this isn't just two photos taken that are super similar. The item duplication thing is so fascinating to me because until quite recently, I've always assumed there was an explanation for all of them. I mean, there are a couple where I'll be like, okay, that is really, really weird. Like people finding their wedding ring quite literally duplicated. But like those videos where people will find duplicates of their jackets or their sunglasses or something like that, well, I always do think they're creepy for sure and might have some validity to them. I also am like, what are the odds that somebody grabbed that knowing you had that item or something? Or maybe you accidentally picked up someone else's version of that item and just brought it home and didn't realize, you know? I always kind of brush it off. In this video from vertyertskert, she captions it glitch in the matrix and you can see, looks like she's had some nails fall off. And she literally captioned this, LoeyLane, where you at? Right here, diva. And 99% of those nail videos, I do believe they're press-ons. But recently, I had what I believe is my first item duplication glitch like this. And it's such an interesting story. So one night, I was going to watch the original 1996 Scream film in theaters. It is like one of my favorite movies of all time. I was so geeked to watch it like in a theater. I was on the Paramount lot. It was super, super cool. And when I was going, I wanted to theme my outfit around Scream at least a little bit. And back during Halloween, I had purchased a bedazzled ghost face mask and a like plastic prop knife, like a bedazzled one from Spirit Halloween that I didn't end up doing anything with. And immediately when I got the invite for this event, I was like, oh my God, that's gonna be so perfect. I have to take those items as almost like my accessories for the night. So my friend Grace, who's going with me to this event, comes over, and it's while I'm like getting these items out of their paper packaging. You know, I'm like cutting off the plastic tags. I literally make a note at one point to her, like, I hate these plastic clothing tags. They're so annoying to cut off. I always feel like I'm missing a chunk of plastic, and I have pets, so I don't want it just laying around my house, you know? I'm just saying that to say she saw me in like my kitchen cutting the packaging off of these items. So there was a witness to this, okay? I take my scream mask, I take my little bedazzled knife, I go to this event and I have a great time. When I come home later that night, with Grace, of course, we are going to order food, we're gonna hang out for the night, and as I go into my kitchen to feed my dogs for the evening, what is on my counter but a bedazzled scream knife in the packaging? For like a solid 60 seconds, I just stood there and stared at it, and then I called my friend into the kitchen and I didn't even have to say anything. I just held up the knife in the packaging and her entire face dropped and she was like, no way. She was there with me while I was opening up the packaging of the bedazzled knife. And if there had been a duplicate of said bedazzled knife, I would have just given it to her because then we could have matched, you know what I mean? Like we were literally trading off the props for photos and stuff so that we both were holding something. It was so like cute to have them, but I would have easily given that to her if it had existed before we left the house. And here's the thing, other than a photo of both of the knives, I have no way to prove to you that this is real in any way, shape, or form. And it has really given me perspective on other people's item duplication glitches because I'm telling you, finding that knife in the packaging rocked my world. I was so startled. Literally in that moment, I was like, oh my God, this is a glitch in the Matrix. That's so crazy. Sometimes though, items will glitch in a way that isn't necessarily duplicating, but does change them permanently. In this video from a poster named Caitlin, she is talking about a set of bracelets.
These were two separate bangles. They were separate, two different entities. And now they're like this.
This video went insanely viral, like 15, 20 million views, something crazy like that, because the story is so wild. So Caitlin explains that she always has had like this just set of two silver bangles, right? She takes them off all the time and just like tosses them into a little dish that she has to keep her jewelry in.
I wore these last week. I just ripped them off and threw them in a dish. And I went to go pick them up to wear them as two separate bracelets today. And they're connected.
On this day that she's filming the video, when she goes to retrieve the bangles, they're stuck together now. They're like looped into each other. They're not separated anymore.
They're not bendy. I'm pushing as hard as I can with my hands and it's not moving. I don't know how this is possible. They were two separate bangles. Can someone please explain to me how this could possibly be possible?
Everyone in the comments was saying that this was an example of quantum tunneling, which per Wikipedia is a phenomenon where particles are able to pass through each other in a way that they normally should not. It's like if something hits just right, an item or like particles really, these things can merge together and become one. So that's what everyone is thinking happened with these bangles. While that would be a scientific reason and explanation, many commenters thought it was a lot more simple than that. Many people thought these bracelets had always been connected and she was just confused. But in a follow-up video, Caitlin explains that she has owned these bracelets for like weeks at this point. She's worn them multiple times and they've always been two separate pieces.
The Mandela effect is real. There is still not a doubt in my mind that these bangles were separated. I wore them like 4 or 5 times. I bought them like last week and since then I wore them 4 or 5 times separately. I know this in my brain.
However, when she recently went onto the Brandy Melville website and looked at the bracelets that she thought she bought, they are interconnected.
I feel like I'm going crazy. I bought these separately. I've worn them separately. If someone works at Brandy Melville, can you please let me know if these were ever sold separately? I genuinely feel like I'm losing. Like, this is a whole like Berenstein Bears Mandela effect at work here. I'm fully so convinced in my brain these were, I swear.
So is this the case of a Mandela effect? Has she hopped timelines somehow into a reality where for some reason her bracelets aren't separated? I find this really interesting because to me, it's not like something you can just mistake. An interconnected bracelet is a very different piece of jewelry than two separate bangles. You know what I mean? Like I should have worn it today. I have a ring that's like 4 separate little rings and they're all connected. So they stack really nicely on top of each other. And if all of those were separated tomorrow, I would be so unbelievably confused. And I just, like, to me, this one just seems so weird. I do kind of believe it. Like I was saying earlier, I feel like sometimes with items and glitches with things, I'll kind of be like, it's a consumerist world, you know what I mean? We're buying stuff all the time. You probably just forgot what you bought. But in this case, she's so bewildered. Was it an example of quantum tunneling? Did these like bracelets magically interconnect? I'm leaning more towards like, she bought them interconnected, but were they like that the whole time? Had she actually bought them separated and suddenly, like she said, this is a Mandela effect now? I don't know. I'm so curious to hear your thoughts on that one. So this first few videos felt like our usual glitch in the matrix videos, you know? But actually the rest of this video, we're gonna be talking about some really weird glitches happening on TikTok right now. They've been happening for months at this point, and it's so much more than like a video being corrupted. It gets really weird. This rabbit hole began for me with a TikToker named Tora. Now, she is a fashion creator, a lifestyle girly. She does not talk about spooky, scary stuff, okay? And this was very much so a one-off experience for her that seemed to leave her incredibly rattled.
I'm pretty sure that this app just made like an AI rendering of me or my likeness without my consent. So sayonara, TikTok, not cool. I just made a video and I feel crazy. I'm literally like shaking because this is getting a little too Orwellian for me. I don't like it.
She was just making one of her usual TikTok videos, just chatting with the camera. When she watched it back though, the footage wasn't what she remembered filming.
I was sitting here recording a TikTok. I had a point to make. I'm talking the entire time. I'm speaking continuously. I am sober. I am not tripping. Sitting here making this TikTok. The only time I make a pause is when I pause to tell my dog to sit on his, like he has like a designated blanket on the couch. I'm telling him to sit on top of that. I take a pause and I go back to talking about what I was talking about. I never stop talking. At no point do I take a pause in talking. I go to play back the video to edit, you know, make sure everything looks good before I upload. And after the point that I correct my dog, it's literally just video of me kind of like being weird. And I can't really explain it any other way. Like I'm sitting there like making faces in the camera, doing things that I was not doing when I was sitting here just a moment. I was talking and making a point and speaking on a particular subject matter in the video. And then when I played it back, it's literally like 2 minutes long of me doing something that I was not sitting here doing just now.
She claims that in this footage, she's making weird faces and like moving around in a way she hadn't been while she was filming it. And she wasn't talking for the remainder of the video, which was the strangest part because for her, she hadn't really taken a break. Like she said, she had talked to her dog for a second there, but then went right back into filming. And so when she had posted this, she was like, was this AI? Was this like an AI version of me somehow that TikTok had created? Because like, it clearly is her.
You can see here where I'm talking. You can see here where I'm talking. And then it just pans to me. I told my dog to sit on top of his blanket on the couch. I told my dog to sit on top of his blanket on the couch. And then I went back into talking about the subject matter that I was talking about. I never stopped speaking. Now I'm playing this back and it just has me being weird, like silent, like playing with my hair, like making faces in the camera. And I swear to God, I was not doing that. It looked to me, I'm like shaking because it's unnatural. I was not doing this just now. I was speaking into the camera directly for like over 3 minutes. And it just at 2:25 here or wherever, it stops. And look. My mouth isn't even moving. I swear to God, y'all, I was talking. I kept going on the subject I was talking about. I was not doing this. I was talking in the camera and it literally just stops. And it has me doing that. I have no idea what this is. It just keeps going. Me sitting there in silence, looking around, making faces. I was not doing this.
To be honest with you, as someone who has filmed herself like over probably tens of thousands of hours over the past like 13 years, I can truly tell you that watching myself back sometimes, I cannot believe the random mannerisms that I have. Like so often I'm like, is this how people perceive me? The comments on this video were mixed. Some people saying that is really weird, like maybe it is AI, maybe this is a glitch in the matrix, I don't know. Some people saying this could be explained by an absent seizure, which is of course very serious, but doesn't seem to be what this poster is thinking. And to be totally honest with you, that would have been the direction I would have leaned in if I had not seen the myriad of videos that I found following up this one as I dove deeper down this rabbit hole, because this is not an isolated incident. One TikToker named Mama Header actually said that as she had opened up her TikTok app to record, she saw herself on the camera, but it wasn't her in that moment.
I'm officially freaked out. I don't know what just happened. Maybe this was like the, what is it, glitch in the matrix? So I turn on my camera on this app and I go to record myself. Only it wasn't me that came up when I hit record. It was me, but I was sitting somewhere else in the room, and it was a side profile of me that came up on my phone, and then it went away, and then it showed me as like the present me. Does that even make sense? Like, how did that just happen? Like, there's not two of me. I'm not a twin. I'm so freaking out right now. I have no words. Like, I'm the only one that ever records on this app. Like, nobody records me from like a distance.
It was literally her side profile. It was like across the room from her. And there was literally no explanation for how or why it happened at all. Now, does that point to something more reasonable, which is not much less scary, that maybe TikTok is constantly recording us and we just don't know? It's weird because here's another video. Y'all were not lying. I opened my camera on TikTok and for a split second, I saw a snapshot of me from 3 days ago when I was laying in my bed. I wasn't even on TikTok. It happened again to a TikToker named Heather who saw herself on her yoga mat.
Something extremely weird just happened to my TikTok just now. I just opened the app, and when I opened the app, it was me on the screen, laying on my yoga mat on my porch, which I was just doing like 30 minutes ago. I did not make a video of that. I'm so dumbfounded. Like, I literally just opened the app and that's what I saw, but it was only there for like, I don't know, a second, and then it was gone, and then it's, you know, my camera, what I see now. I don't understand. Has this happened to anyone else?
Then something a lot like what happened to Tora happened again to another poster. She's icantwithmeeither on TikTok, and she was just filming a video of her talking to the camera, and when she watched it back, there were these weird clips of her posing in ways that she wasn't, and she had not like taken a break to randomly readjust herself. She had just been talking straight to the camera.
So yesterday I was doing a part 2 in conclusion to a video I had already made, so I didn't have to stop and like think about what I was going to say because it was just me free talking. I recorded like 3 or 4 clips, and at the last clip I was making a coffee because I was already done with the coffee I had, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna make another coffee, and I was telling you guys that, and I was making the coffee while I was giving the conclusion, okay? Well, when I went back to edit part 2 of the video, at the end there was a series of clips of me doing nothing, like literally staring into the camera, repositioning my face, and doing random things that were clearly, it was done on purpose because I'm looking at the camera.
And this is where the clips start.
Freaking insanity.
And look at her. She's just sitting there like being weird as f. I sped this up too. I sped this up because it's forever. I did not do these things. And look, there's the empty coffee. I made a whole new coffee and those clips were missing.
A lot of people were pointing out the hands here, like how her hands were kind of like doing unnatural things. They were placed in a weird way. Again, I think that maybe not so much the videos where people are like just seeing themselves on TikTok, but it's not them in the current moment. That's very concerning as well. But more so this, I would normally be like, you know, I think that maybe we're just taking more breaks in between our words than maybe we think we are. Like, I know that for me, there's so many pauses in these videos. If I left them in, you would be watching me just like actively think for probably like twice as long as this video actually is. But the fact that it's multiple people having this experience and then the people like seeing themselves on TikTok in like positions that they were in earlier in the day and spaces they aren't even in that given moment in time. We know that TikTok has been sold and there have been weird glitches happening on the app, but I don't know if I would call these like technology glitches, glitches in the Matrix, or is this something else entirely? Like, I'm not naive enough to think that anything that I do on my personal device is secure in any way, shape, or form. But literally opening up your camera, seeing yourself like across the room, that's something else entirely to me. I don't know. I'm actually very curious what you guys think, and the glitches don't really stop there. This is from Rachelrosenblum 10, captioned, "Hey, yeah, so if someone could explain this to me, listen." And she's filming a video, she's talking to the camera, when suddenly the audio cuts out and you hear a strange voice that's not hers.
Gonna eat some breakfast and
Now that one maybe could be paranormal, but then again, I'm also thinking of it as like, is somebody watching her as she's filming? Are they like glitching out her mic and piping in? Is this the case of like a Bluetooth mic maybe connecting? I don't know. I don't know. Part of me does wonder if that one is paranormal, but it just goes to show you there is like some weird stuff going on TikTok. Then people started noticing that the terms that were in their suggested searches when they would go up, you know how you can like search things on TikTok? When they would go to that, there would be some weird messages in the suggested search feature. And this creator was the first person I saw bring it up.
so I was watching one of those like medical show things that they show on TikTok where it's like the little clips. And I went to the search to see if I could find the second clip. And this device has been seized was one of the like tags that you may like that popped up. And so I clicked on it because I was like, what the fuck? And then I told you not to touch it showed up. And I was like, hello? So I clicked on that one. And it just showed me a bunch of like random videos and memes. So I was like, okay, that's weird. I pressed the back button. And then now I'm getting these. Open your eyes and look what you've done. Do not respond. And then it looks like a bunch of like searches.
Those are so unbelievably bizarre. And then I saw another person post it, Gaggleuploadsalot, and you can see that their recommendeds are like, this device is corrupted, your phone is overheating. This is a random TikTok shop link that says special link, don't order this, and it's just a photo of a person for $888. It got so popular that even this creator, Spencewuah, Spencer, he talked about it on his account as well, and he's like a huge TikToker.
Okay, yeah, no. Why is TikTok talking to me like a cursed Ouija board? Could somebody please explain to me why my search page looks like this? This device has been seized. That's why I'm not warning you about the demons. Stop closing your door at night. Beware of the man who speaks in hands. Oh, yeah, this isn't ominous or scary at all. Totally normal things to see on my recommended search list. Mind you, it says stop closing your door at night was just watched. I can guarantee without a shadow of a doubt, no the it was not.
His are so weird. Stop closing your door at night. The one I have been seeing in my recommended search as well is government knows you have spiritual powers. It is so weird, and I know has to be an algorithm thing. This one I'm less convinced of being like a glitch, even a TikTok glitch, and more of being a very, very weird recommendation thing. But it just goes back to like, what in the world is going on TikTok that there are all of these glitches all of a sudden? And all of this just like weird stuff happening with the app. I don't know what to make of it all. Like, especially the videos of the people where they're doing things that they're not actually doing. Like, is there an explanation for that? Is there an explanation for the people who are opening their phones and seeing themselves from across the room? Does it maybe store some sort of data from the last time you opened the camera or something? I know that that's happened to me before on Instagram, but like, only when it happened in the story feature, and only when like I was going to record a story before maybe. So it never like catches me off guard, if that makes any sense. So maybe it is that, and people are just forgetting that they've opened up their cameras, but I don't know. I feel like at this point I'm just making excuses because it makes me so uncomfortable. Remember when we all made jokes about our FBI agents watching us through our phones in 2020? Yeah, why is that like becoming more and more real as the days go by? Or is it all explained by a glitch in the Matrix? You guys are gonna have to let me know what you think, and thank you so much for watching this. Wow, this was a really quick one, but part 2 should be out in the next couple of days. We'll go through like 15 more glitch in the Matrix videos, and those are gonna be much more like of our usual glitch in the Matrix type stories. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, go ahead and give me a thumbs up. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. A special thank you to my subscribers who are members of the channel. If you want to join the channel memberships and get extra members exclusive perks like members only videos, you can click that little join button somewhere around the screen. We would love to have you. An extra special thank you to my VIP loves for their continued and generous support of the channel. I love and appreciate you all very, very much. I love you all very much, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.